the psychology behind our fear of judgment, and how to stop letting it shape our lives. At some point, almost everyone has avoided doing something because of what other people might think. It may be speaking up during a meeting, wearing something different, starting a business, posting an opinion online, or pursuing a goal that feels slightly outside the norm. Often, the obstacle is not a lack of ability or opportunity, but the fear of being judged. What makes this particularly frustrating is that most of us know, logically, that we should not care so much. We understand that other people's opinions do not define our worth, yet their approval can still influence our decisions more than we would like to admit. The question is why? Why do the thoughts of people we barely know sometimes carry so much weight? Why can criticism from a stranger linger in our minds for days, while compliments are quickly forgotten? And why does the fear of judgment continue to affect people regardless of their age, experience, or level of success? The answer lies deep within human nature. We are wired to seek acceptance. For most of human history, belonging to a group was essential for survival. Thousands of years ago, being excluded from a tribe could have serious consequences. Cooperation provided protection, access to resources, and a greater chance of survival. As a result, our brains evolved to pay close attention to social acceptance and rejection. While modern life looks very different, those instincts remain remarkably powerful. Today, we are unlikely to be cast out of society because of a disagreement at work or an embarrassing mistake. Yet our brains often react as though social rejection is still a major threat. The discomfort we feel when we are criticized, ignored, or judged is partly a reflection of these ancient survival mechanisms. In other words, caring about what other people think is not a weakness. It is human. The spotlight effect. One of the most fascinating discoveries in psychology is something known as the spotlight effect. People tend to overestimate how much attention others are paying to them. We imagine that everyone notices our mistakes, awkward moments, and imperfections, when in reality most people are far too focused on themselves to pay much attention at all. Think about the last time you saw someone stumble over their words during a presentation or wear an outfit you did not particularly like. Chances are you noticed it briefly and then moved on with your day. Yet when the same thing happens to us, it can occupy our thoughts for hours. The reason is simple. We are the main characters in our own lives, so it is easy to assume we play a similarly important role in everyone else's. The reality is far less dramatic. Most people are busy worrying about their own decisions, challenges, and insecurities. The cost of seeking approval. While caring about other people's opinions is natural, problems arise when that concern begins to dictate our choices. Many people spend years living according to expectations that are not truly their own. They choose careers because they sound impressive, remain in situations that no longer make them happy, or avoid opportunities because they fear criticism. The cost of this can be significant. A person may never start the business they dream of launching because they are worried about failure. Someone else may avoid expressing their true personality because they want to fit in. Others may delay important life decisions because they fear disappointing family, friends, or colleagues. Ironically, trying to please everyone often results in pleasing no one, including ourselves. Living for approval can become a never-ending pursuit because expectations constantly change. No matter what choices we make, there will always be people who disagree, criticize, or question them. Successful people are judged too. It is easy to imagine that confident and successful individuals have somehow escaped the fear of judgment. The reality is quite different. Public figures, entrepreneurs, athletes, and leaders are often criticized more than anyone else. The difference is not that they avoid judgment. The difference is that they have learned to act despite it. Every meaningful achievement involves the possibility of criticism. Anyone who starts a company, writes a book, changes careers, or pursues an unconventional path will eventually encounter people who question their decisions. If avoiding judgment becomes the goal, growth becomes almost impossible. Confidence is not the absence of criticism. Confidence is the willingness to move forward even when criticism exists. Whose opinion actually matters? One of the most useful mindset shifts is recognizing that not all opinions deserve equal weight. In an age where everyone can share their views instantly, it is easy to become overwhelmed by feedback. Yet treating every opinion as equally valuable is neither practical nor healthy. Constructive criticism from someone you respect can be incredibly valuable. Feedback from a trusted mentor, colleague, or friend may help you improve and grow. Random judgment, however, is often far less important than we imagine. Before worrying about someone's opinion, it can be helpful to ask a simple question. Is this a person whose life, values, or expertise I genuinely respect? If the answer is no, their opinion may not deserve as much influence as you are giving it. Freedom begins with self-acceptance. Many people spend years chasing external validation because they believe confidence comes from being universally liked. It does not. No matter who you are, there will always be people who disagree with you, misunderstand you, or simply do not like you. This is not a reflection of your worth. It is a reflection of the fact that everyone sees the world through their own experiences, preferences, and beliefs. The people who appear most confident are rarely those who receive the most approval. More often, they are the people who have stopped making approval their primary goal. They understand that self-respect matters more than universal acceptance. Rather than asking whether everyone will agree with their choices, they focus on whether those choices align with their values. That shift changes everything. A better question. Perhaps the goal is not to stop caring what other people think altogether. After all, healthy relationships, empathy, and social awareness are important parts of life. Completely ignoring others would not be a virtue. The real challenge is preventing other people's opinions from becoming the driving force behind our decisions. Instead of asking, "What will people think?" try asking, "What do I think?" Or perhaps even more importantly, "Will I regret not doing this?" Years from now, most of us will remember the opportunities we failed to take far more than the criticism we feared receiving. The opinions that seem so important today often fade surprisingly quickly. The life we choose to build, however, tends to stay with us much longer. For more about your personal development, consider to subscribe and hit the notification bell.